Okay, painting rewards.
Yeah, painting rewards is a little bit longer, not super long, but a little bit. We've got Bale summoning Egon in that same row, and Dragon bosses. Okay, so row 3, low key has tons of synergy, and I think, okay, hear me out, Dom. This is the play:
Pausing.
rush, sell Great Katana,
Uh-huh.
kill ADM with the club, and then upgrade the Dragon Great Katana, and then use that for the rest of the match. I think that's a play for this row 3 rush here, and Age One's Exaltation is like a long ball that you can sort of bluff a little bit.
Yeah.
What else we got on here? Bloodfiend's Arm in a corner square. That's a rush square. Not a ton of rush on this board, I will say.
Legendary Ash, I mean, you got that as well. Yeah. That's pretty rushable. Blood Fiend's Arm, Great Katana. I'm honestly...
I think...
Sorry, go ahead.
I think Kill Chief Bloodfiend is also not that bad. Like, he staggers pretty easy.
Yeah, if you have a weapon to kind of deal with it, for sure.
Put Florisax to sleep, also synergizing nicely with this Bale while summoning Egon, painting rewards synergy.
Yeah.
Man, row 2 is this is nasty. Mesmer, Putrescent Knight, Golden Braid, you're all over the goddamn map. 4 perfumer bottles,
which might be, however, a good row to go for, because then you're kind of like pushing the other player as well to be like, okay, I have to get full map control, not just half the map. I have to get the southern region as well. If you go for, like, let's say Mesmer and then also, Florisax to sleep, you already have access to Golden Braid and Putrescent Knight with just getting those 2 squares and showing like, hey, I could push row 2 if I really wanted to. Are you going to stop me? Are you going to go to these same places that I'm going to? Or are you going to try and do your own thing? Talking about weapon meta, I do want to see Bloodfiend's Arm actually being used.
So I didn't know it was a good weapon, and I saw this square, obviously, sell Bloodfiend's Arm +0, and I was like, okay, is that just, it's a cool collection square because it's early and you have to kill a thing? But people were saying it's rather good, like that the weapon is really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's even though it got nerfed a little bit, it is still quite powerful. I think it's a colossal weapon. Still categorizes that. So the poise damage is really good, and it's got really good bleed built up already on it. So you can put bleed and frost on it, kind of like the Great Katana. The only problem is getting it, because those mobs that actually are around and the mob that drops it is a little risky. But man, if you can get that thing going, I think it's definitely worth looking into, to be honest. And here we go. We are starting now. Graveside playing, and Pooh going straight for something. I don't know what he's rushing here
He
for.
might be getting shadow fragments or something. Unclear. Unclear at this time.
Very unclear. Maybe he's looking at the old board.
Maybe he's looking at the first board.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Oh, well.
Yeah, that's very interesting. CBD here went straight for 3 crosses. Getting stuck.
I wouldn't be shocked, honestly. So Pooh was my teammate for Twitch Rivals, and I crafted our shadow fragment routing for that.
Yeah.
And it included doing this first. And my thinking right now is Pooh doesn't see anything super rushable on this board in his mind. And so I think he's saying, okay, let me get set up. And is hearkening back to, a month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
When getting set up included, 2 fragments really fast, which, to be fair, it only took a minute. So maybe that's good. I don't know. But CBD definitely now going to have a huge jump on early rush squares by a full minute. So if he wants Bloodfiend's Arm, sell Great Katana, whatever, he's going to get it.
I think, however, it sounds weird, but actually this might be a good thing from Pooh. I know that it's out of the way, and he lost like a minute traveling down there and grabbing it, but also he can kind of give dibs to CBD if he's going to sell the Great Katana or not, because that might be a weapon that he wants to rely on and be like, okay, I want to see if CBD sells it, and if he does sell it, I can just full commit and not have to worry about it. So that might be not a bad idea either, just like waiting it out a little bit, waiting for information. And yeah, CBD grabbing that Great Katana, going immediately
He's rushing
to
it.
round
It
table.
looks like. Yeah, is he going to round table? Oh no, he's going to more, I think.
Okay, interesting.
So he's gonna produce a little, and maybe that's CBD doing kind of the same thing, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna set up a little map presence, give Pooh an extra 10 seconds to see if he sells it. Blanks actually did that to me in a practice match a couple days ago, where he held on to selling Great Katana, calling that I would use the weapon, and I did. Which means he just had a free square he could cash in at any time.
Right.
Which was really smart. But I think we're going to see CBD selling the Great Katana here, which, I truly think, and I know not everybody agrees with this, but I think just getting any square on the board in the first 5 minutes is huge. Like, you create, even if it's not in a great position, right? Like, sell Great Katana is not in a diagonal. It's not center square, whatever. It's not a corner. But you create so much pressure in your opponent's mind if within the first 3 minutes it's like, boom, square. Even if it's a small change, your opponent will get a little stressed out, I think. Oh, but Pooh? Wait, CBD's not selling it. Pooh's selling it. I thought CBD was going to talk to more and sell it, but it doesn't look like it.
Or he's upgrading?
No, he's selling.
No, he's upgrading. He's not going for it. He's upgrading. He's going for the upgrade on the Great Katana.
So nobody's, maybe CBD's like, okay, Pooh's using the Great Katana. I can sell it comfortably now. But it doesn't look like CBD's selling it either.
A little bit of game of chicken here, maybe.
Rather interesting. Okay.
I mean, CBD hasn't upgraded the Great Katana either yet. Going to be grabbing the backhand blades?
He's getting the backhand blades, so I think he is going to sell it.
Yeah. Which is just a free square for CBD in this case.
Yeah, I just feel like maybe CBD does want to hold on to it, like I was saying a second ago, like Blanks did against me a few days ago. Instead of choosing to sell it right now just to see what happens. But I feel like, I don't know, in a match day setting, I feel like just get the square. Like, get the square as fast as you can. But I'm not playing. So, I don't know.
Yeah, the interesting thing here is that Pooh is not going to the Morgrace, and he already has an upgraded katana. He could go for Bloodfiend's arm right now and grab a corner square, which is way better than the Great Katana positioning here. That actually might be a really solid play. Yeah, there's the backhand blade being upgraded from CBD now too.
So surely he just sells the katana here, right?
I would assume so.
I mean, this is a rare square that you literally can hold on to, but it's such a bluff. Like, if Pooh is doing the same thing as you, okay, he's selling it. He's selling it. It looks like.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
There's the mark. Okay, I was wondering, what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. First square on the board for CBD right now, 1-0. Yeah, I think this is going to be really interesting. I think, honestly, for CBD right now, rushing the legendary Ash summon to activate column 4 and getting that diagonal to block possibly Bloodfiend's arm, I think would be the best square. But it looks like he's going to prospect.
We're racing. We're racing it.
Okay. What?
Or not. He's warping back. He's warping back.
Oh, getting a Skidoo level here, maybe?
Or turning it to night, maybe, or something?
Changing
Ashavor?
Okay, so this might be good
so
for
giving Pooh the lead now. Okay.
Okay, it's going to come down to execution here.
It's going to come down to movement and the kill.
Yep.
Okay, Pooh... Does he know the fast movement over to the side? He does not, maybe?
Oh, God, that was terrifying.
Okay, I don't know why. That jump mortified me. So CBD is going to have the quicker line, maybe? No, they both don't know it. Okay, there's a jump you can do to get to these guys faster.
Okay. They're pretty much tied in momentum here. Okay,
looks
CBD
like Pooh's
just
going
going
for maybe
in.
a backstab or something.
Oh, this might be quicker for CBD. Oh, he does get really clobbered. He's got to be careful. He might die. He dies! Okay, so Pooh, this is now all Pooh. Pooh having blood loss. This is exactly what I was hoping for this square. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm so happy.
This is what you were crafting?
Oh, yeah. I wanted people to try and rush this early and just get, like, decimated by the... Oh, my God. Pooh, no HP.
He's got one life.
Grab it.
Oh, my God. Mark it.
No, he has to sell it. He has to sell it.
Oh, you had to sell it.
You can't mark it.
Wait, why is he getting this talisman?
I don't know. He has to quit out, though. Quit out. See, but he dies again.
You also
quit
do not
out,
need
Pooh. Quit out.
You don't need the heirloom.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? He has it. That's all that matters.
Palms are sweaty, knees spaghetti, vomit sweaters already.
Spear be stabby.
Flabby wabby.
Okay, this is huge. This is actually huge.
What
Just
the
sell, Pooh! Pooh, sell! What are you going? Pooh!
You know.
Are you joking?
And also CBD's killing on Torrent? Gamers,
What is going
we gotta lab
on?
this square. We gotta lab this square, guys.
Oh my, there's no way. Pooh, sell, what are you doing? Why is it not selling?
Maybe he thinks he can hold on to the square or something?
Does
He think talismans is on the board or something? Or he's going for the paintings, maybe?
I think he's going for paintings here.
While he's here, I guess. Okay, but CBD's about to pick up the weapon.
Yeah.
And he's Memory of Gracing immediately. Okay, so this is going to be...
Oh
Pooh's going to
my
grab this and warp.
God.
Pooh's going to grab this and warp, and it's just going to be a load screen race. Where's CBD going? Oh, he's selling at Kale? Okay. Pooh, warp!
He's
Oh,
aggroed.
please!
He's aggroed.
Oh, please
No,
warp.
he's going to get sniped. It's sniped.
Oh.
Oh my God, Pooh, you greedy bastard.
Oh.
There it is. And it's being marked. Oh my God.
It's a bad feel. It's a bad feel.
This is
It
why
must be
you
said.
don't greed early game squares. This is a lesson that I guess Pooh just had to learn right now is like, if there's early game stuff, you got to get rid of it ASAP because this can happen where you're trying to hold on to it and it's not going to, play out for you. Okay, he goes for Curse Blades here, though. That's a good pick for Pooh. I think this is great. It's going to block row 1 here, and it's going to be really easy for him to do with the Great Katana compared to Backhand Blades.
I guess which Curse Blade do you do second? Because just Morth Ruins, I guess.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 there.
Yeah, Morth Ruins would probably be the best one.
I saw Tom do something the other day that I've now implemented into my game. There are 2 Curse Blades in Morth Ruins, and you can kill them both within like such little time. So I've started doing that because this is like 1 right here, and then you'll have to. Oh. Okay. Pooh, we can do this, baby. We're going to take a deep breath. We're going to recollect.
Okay.
We're feeling good. Pooh's got this. Pooh's got this.
CBD make his way towards TLEA right now. And, getting stuck in some trees. Trees in this game are infuriating. Trees and squirrels. They body block you sometimes so much while trying to travel. It just, I don't know why. Maybe I have anger issues. I'm not sure. But, man, they piss me off sometimes.
Okay, here, while I have a bigger platform, petition for the mod we're using for this season to remove the sound effect of the birds that yell at you to alert the wolves. Can we just get rid of that sound effect? Pooh's dead again.
He has, like, no skidoo levels here. I think
he doesn't have skidoo level. He doesn't have armor. I don't know that he has the Dragon Crest Great Shield talisman, so he just has, like, no defense here.
Yeah.
And, like, jump R2s do stagger the Curse Blades a little bit, but they hyper armor a lot. They have a lot of attacks that start up with hyper armor, so it can be tough to stagger them. This is a tough early game look for Pooh, I will be honest. Now, this board is relatively deep, so it's not like this is over or anything.
No, 100%.
There is a lot of late gameage on this board. But CBD just has more map presence. He's got more going on. Good on Pooh for aborting, though. It can be really tough to get out of a square when you've died a couple times. It can get in your head, and you're like, I gotta keep going. But good on Pooh for moving out of it. Going for Nameless Mausoleums here, it looks like.
Yeah. I don't see armor sets on the board, so this is a little bit of a dead end. I don't think there's any NPC bosses either.
Yeah, I would say, Pooh, if you're watching this match back later, a big thing is like going for squares that immediately synergize with other squares, especially in early game, is really huge. So like this Black Jail Knight kill doesn't really afford you much other than this one square and maybe some armor.
Yep.
And this kill is going to take several minutes. This kill is going to take at least 2 minutes.
Because of no Skidoo level. It's definitely going to make it a
Exactly.
little bit trickier, for sure. Okay, so CBD here currently in the Ancient Dragon Man cave. Leaving, though, might be going for the Invader. Do we have Invaders on this board? We swapped so many boards, I'm not sure anymore if we have. We don't have Invaders.
No.
Okay, he's just grabbing this for prep for later, potentially. Maybe going to Morth Ruins now. I think that is the plan. Going to Fort Reprimand into Morth Ruins. Seems to be the best play anyways.
Honestly, like... something I've noticed in a lot of these matches is like the player that gets to Fort of Reprimand first has so much impact.
Yeah.
Because they just have the late game so much faster. And this is going to be a huge map presence lead for CBD because Pooh hasn't even made it to Tialier.
Yeah.
And by the time he gets to Tialier, CBD is already could be at Hippo. You know what I mean? Not that Hippo really affords much on this board, but just for the sake of argument. We have, I think, is Red Bear on the board? I think I saw that maybe.
I did see one as well. I think that was the previous board though.
Dude, I can't keep them straight.
I know,
there's
same.
Too many boards.
There was a lot happening. There was a lot going on for sure. I do think prepping Ancient Dragonman was definitely a good idea here from CBD though, because of the whole Bale with Egon and the painting rewards and 3 dragon bosses on row 3. I think that's a really good idea, and I think CBD sees row 3 already as well. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna be prepping that. Let me go get some other things first. Maybe go for the Cursed Blades in Morth Rune as well, and then start like progressing towards that row 3. Pooh here, however, getting past the flask healing on Black Jail Knight.
Maybe this is also just money for Pooh.
It is 120k, I think, so that is definitely good money. Could buy an armor set with that.
Well, he gives a great armor set. I mean, it's heavy, but...
It's very heavy. That's the one thing.
Even just wearing the chest piece is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And that should still be medium load, even on 10 stam.
That attack always scares me.
The vacuum slice thing.
Yeah, the vacuum.
Nice bleed proc.
Whatever it's called. I forget. It's like the Solitude Slice or something.
I mean, nice fight from Pooh.
Yeah. He's taking his time. He's not trying to be too greedy here. Very nice.
You know, honest to God, who knows? Nameless Mausoleums could wind up being an important block later. And Pooh has a lot of early game presence here. Waiting for the armor set to show up. Very smart.
If we're looking at column 2, it's
low key like Pooh and CBD could be suffering from the same thing we are, where we're like conflating the 2 previous boards.
Yeah.
Very possible.
If Pooh does commit to this whole mausoleums thing, column 2 is not bad with a Golden Braid, Angelan, and Anna being in the same column. That is both hinterlands access. That could really play quite well into that. And getting into hinterland, you have to get to you go past Gaius anyways. So upgrading a remembrance weapon to max is that other square there as well. So he could easily grab a smithing stone 25 and upgrade that sword lance to 25 and kind of push column 2 if you really, really wanted to. So it's definitely not a bad position at all for the line that he has. But yeah, looking at the travel distance between the two, Pooh still in Graveside Plains at the moment, not even close to Castle Ensis / Tillier, and CBD already being in Morth Runes, Skidoo Altus, grabbing a bunch of Skidoo fragments. He definitely has way more map presence right now, but is also just way more built up with Skidoo levels on top of that. So he's just way more just stronger.
And, he's not going to know he has this much map presence over Pooh, obviously, because he's not going to know that Pooh was going for Blood Fiend's Arm. He's not going to know that Pooh was going for Black Jail Knight. So he's not going to know he has this much map presence. But if he wanted to, CBD could just go on a tear right now through quite a few squares. But he's not going to know that. Because since Pooh has marked nothing, CBD has... I think it's often easy to forget that, like, we see both players, we know what they should be doing. But, like, because Pooh hasn't marked anything, CBD has genuinely no idea what Pooh is doing. Like, actually nothing. Also, I think Solitary Jail Knight might be 80k and not 100.
That's a shame.
Yeah, so not super valuable, but from level 1, I mean, 80k gets you to, like, level 30.
Yeah, it's pretty good still. At the very least.
And I find that in most of my matches, honestly, I'm between levels 30 and 50 for, like, the whole thing. Unless it's like an ultra deep board or like level 85 is on the board. I'm kind of just winding up at like level 40 basically every time.
We're going to have ADM here on a CBD screen here very soon.
Looks like he is just going for this row 3 play. And honestly, I think rushing center square right here for CBD is huge.
It's a really good idea.
Because it's going to seem like a slow enough square that Pooh isn't going to want to do it right away. But because he already has Cell Great Katana and he promotes his diagonal, because he has Cell Bloodfiend's Arm as well. So this just gives CBD so many options.
Oh, misses that blind spot. Let me go ahead and bring him up on the big screen here, though, for CBD.
Can I just say, the splash screen transitions in between layouts is so nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, all thanks to JAMO. Shoutouts to JAMO for making this.
Let's go JAMO. JAMO the GOAT.
Yeah, we're like I say for every season, we try to up the production value at least a little bit. And so this season, I was like, you know what? We should try and get a stinger. I think that would have helped with Season 3 as well with the teams and everything, because people were saying, you know, it's a little bit of a hard time to follow, especially with scene transitioning. So stinger is just helping with, like, okay, things are changing right now. I think that's been very nice to a nice addition for Season 4. Oh, ADM really punishing CBD, trying to lower his health to 0. I don't know where I was going with that, so I was just finishing that sentence.
Remind me after this. I have an idea for the production that I can share with you later that might make things a little easier. But
sure.
We can talk about that later.
No way. Dude.
Yeah, CBD struggling a little bit with ADM here, dying.
Wow.
To the Ash of War. What? Wow. And this, you know, I think it's easy to forget because we've been killing ADM so much in all these matches pretty early. He is not like a quote-unquote early game boss. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily.
Like,
yeah.
He is. You know, you can get to him very quickly from Graveside Plain, but he's intended to be this, like, gut check on the way to, I almost called it Big Thunder Mountain because that's what I call it, but Jagged Peak.
Yeah.
Like, he's intended to be the checkpoint, I think, especially by the fact that you have to kill him twice, basically, or are intended to kill him twice. Once as the invasion and then once here. Pooh getting this Skidoo, trying to evade this Curse Blade here.
Could go for this Curse Blade if he really wanted to, but
I think he's a little scarred. I think he's a little scarred from the prior interaction, which fair enough. And also the Curse Blade Assassins, I mean, it blocks row 1, but not hugely important right now, I think.
Grabbing some more Skidoo. I think, yeah, for Pooh right now, getting leveled up, making sure that he gets enough Skidoo levels, I think right now is priority, and then going straight into fights right afterwards. And, yeah, so CBD right now having a pretty decent fight. The one thing that I would like to see from CBD a little bit more, though, and this is, I think, for people that are already really comfortable with the backhand blades, is running R2s. Because,
dude, the running R2s are so good on the backhand blades. And on NPCs as well, because NPCs, like, and I guess probably, you know, I feel like there's little, you know, PvE stuff that maybe the average chatter wouldn't know just because it's like weird speedrun stuff. But for some reason, NPC fights, both invaders and bosses, don't really read running attacks very well. So like NPCs love to input read if you R1 or R2 from standing or jumping. But if you run in an R1 or R2, so the dashing R1 or the dashing R2, NPCs really struggle to dodge that. In fact, most likely they will just keep running at you, which is why if you watch any of the NPC fights throughout this entire season, especially with Great Katana, you will see the players run away and then run in and dashing R1. And the backhand blade running R2 slaps once and then again. And it's a strong attack. It deals more poise than most of the backhand blade R1s. It deals a lot of bleed damage. It's fast, very low end lag. Super good attack. I agree with you, Dom. I think more people should be prioritizing that attack.
Yeah, the running R2, kind of like with scavenger swords, or in this case, curved swords, when they have the jumping L1, is actually the running R2 on the backhand blades hits 4 times. It is one for each sword, so up and then down. And it's the same with the curved swords, where, if you jump L1, they do the up and down motion. So the backhand blades being able to build a lot of status with running R2s. It's just really, really good. And the running R1s on the backhand, I'm not going to lie, is probably one of the worst attacks I've seen.
Okay, yes. Dashing R1 is the worst attack on the backhand blades. But dashing R2 is really good.
Yeah, really, really solid.
Dashing R1, you fly past the enemy. It's really bad.
Not going for the dragon here right away for dragon bosses. I think grabbing the communion altar for Florisax to sleep.
Florisax, yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. It also sets up, if you need to do anything in Charo's hidden grave, sets that up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything there? I mean, Putrescent Knight is kind of there. Lightning Ram is kind of there. Mausoleums, I guess. Perfumer bottles. I mean, you can get the one in Lamenter's Jail.
I mean, Lightning Ram would be on Elike River, though. I don't know if you can... I guess you could kind of go all the way around.
Yeah, you go all the way around, yeah.
Yeah, sure. That is a little bit of definitely a little bit of travel time, though, but...
yeah, I'd be curious how much slower it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. That's a good question. Pooh here now going towards Commander Gaius, though, which I don't think is a bad call at all. Has got his overhead stance, cold great katana. I think he might be going for Gaius into Mesmer. That wouldn't be the worst idea. Or at the very least, maybe grabbing the painting in first floor towards Jory, and then going back to Ancient Dragon Man and to complete the two paintings, because he did grab the first painting already on the way to Prospect Town. So he might be still aiming for center square here.
Yeah, it could be. Obviously, CBD has the presence past ADM, but he still has to get the painting.
Yep.
And, Pooh is going to be much closer to that now. Okay, CBD is heading into Charo's hidden grave here.
I'm
very curious if this is just for Cerulean Coast access.
This might also just be prepping. This might just be prepping graces,
Oh, you know what? He might also be prepping the grace for the Ghost Flame Dragon. If he wants to use that as one of his... But why would you do that when you have Bale summoning Egon?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to kill both Jagged Peak Drakes anyway.
I think in this case, it's genuinely just prepping graces and waiting to see what Pooh does, and then responding as a
CBD still has no info because Pooh has yet to mark anything 24 minutes in.
Yeah.
And so CBD truly has no idea what Pooh is doing, which, I said this yesterday, I think, during my match. There is low-key a sort of comeback mechanic when you are really behind if you haven't marked anything in a while.
Yeah.
Because... the player that's in the lead, what they're doing, but they have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's been long enough now that neither player knows what the other is doing, obviously, but CBD has truly no information, which can be a huge game changer.
Here we are in Bonneville now for CBD. So he did grab the grace and just pour it out for now. Going probably towards Commander Gaius himself. There is clear 2 jails as well on the board here. So maybe he's going to Bonnie Jail. That could also be an option.
And then Lamenter Jail with that grace he just got.
That could be a move here, though, going to Bonnie Jail, because there is unique Curse Blade Assassins, and Bonnie Jail has a Curse Blade Labyrinth as the boss. He could go for a 2-for-1 here on Synergy if he really wanted to, but it looks like he's going for a Mother instead, and then going straight towards Shadowkeep.
He did pick up the Kukris, which is something not everybody is doing. Kukris are nice for a couple things. CBD and Tom really like them because there's a couple of gravity kills that you can do on, for example, in the bottom left diagonal corner square, acquire Death Mask Helm, all that. There is a pretty consistent gravity kill that CBD likes to do that requires some kind of throwing weapon. Kukris make a lot of noise when you throw them and distract enemies. I like the Kukris and throwing weapons because you can maintain poise damage while the enemy's in an attack you can't approach on. But I think there is definitely utility in the Kukri, and there's 5 of them for free right there, and you're gonna be going past them almost every match, and it's like a 10-second detour, so might be worth getting.
I think the big thing is honestly remembering that you have kukris though when the time comes. Because
Yeah,
sometimes you pick them up and then you're like, oh yeah, I've had these for like 30 minutes now. I could have used them on these fights, or I could have used that to make this traveling a little bit easier. So it is definitely nice though to definitely get those kukris. I think for Church Water District specifically, it's nice when you try to lower the water because you can throw a kukri behind the Fire Knight that's walking towards you when you're trying to go to activate that lever to lower the water, and he will turn around. You can sneak past them so you don't have to deal with possibly dying and resetting all the way back to the beginning of Church Water District. So that's definitely a good spot to use the kukri in.
Okay, so Pooh is going into Storehouse Loft here. I do think of the things you could do here, Gaius is definitely the play. But even then, I just feel like the dragon synergy is too strong in this board.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much synergy at Jagged Peak on this board that I feel like you have to get some presence there. But maybe, you know, Pooh could just be getting the Storehouse Loft Grace and then leaving, but I have a feeling we're going to see a commit into a boss, which is not bad. Like, you know, Golden Braid is on the diagonal.
Yep.
And I assume he picked up Oh Mother on the way. And then we've got some other Hinterland stuff, like you were saying earlier. Yulan and Anna is in Hinterlands. Remembrance Weapon to max, also on row 1 here. And Gaius's weapon is definitely one of the easier weapons to upgrade to max from a Remembrance boss because it's smithing stones, and smithing plus 10s are much easier to find than the somber varietal, if you will. And I will.
I think in this case, honestly, I'm expecting Pooh to go for Mesmer here because I do remember him saying that Mesmer is probably one of the most comfortable bosses for him. And Mesmer being on the board, I think he's just thinking, you know what, I'm going to go for money, and then I'm going to go for Mesmer. And that's exactly, I think, what we're seeing right now, dropping down here. And
I
then
just
going
don't, I don't know. This doesn't promote really anything.
Well, here's the other thing. You do have masks on the bottom left of the board.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So maybe he's like, okay, I can go for Mesmer and also get the masks at the same time, get some Skidoo. And Mesmer giving some of the most money in the DLC by... Hello.
That's a tough
400,000.
Yeah, so these guys, these Fire Knights, Pooh, the gentleman that he is, I'm not biased, is choosing to kill the Fire Knight. God bless. Taking the Stake of America, good. Now, something you do need to know is you got to kill these two guys.
Yeah.
If you're coming from the Stake of America, you got to kill those two guys because they can heal him. One of them has a healing incant that they can cast to heal this guy, and it is a huge issue. You got to roll that twice. Oh, the backstab. Okay. Now
overhead
a charge
stance.
R2,
overhead
maybe?
stance. Charge R2.
Oh, overhead stance would be so good there.
Okay, maybe you should get a stagger here. So, not if you take that to the face.
Jump R2 is not going to stagger here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Gets casted on here by the Fire Knight. Do they have names? I don't think they do, surprisingly. For having, like, special loot, they don't have names. I'm pretty sure.
Well, Salza's got a name.
Salza has a name. I guess that's true. Maybe if you read the actual helmet that they drop, maybe then you know.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
maybe.
Their name. I know it's called Fire Serpent Helm. I don't know if that actually is, like, their name. Pooh taking some fire damage here from those two ghosty boys. Trying it again, trying to sneak past. Okay.
Maybe he's just forgoing it this time. I mean, good on Pooh for not feeling stuck into a square once he's chosen it.
Yeah.
That can be a really tough thing for newer players, is like feeling stuck in a square. You die 2 times, you're like, well, I have to do it now. The sunk cost fallacy of it all, but you really don't. For a lot of squares, like, you know, get the fuck out of there. Like, do something else, reset the mental. Nothing wrong with that. And, you know, does Mesmer promote a whole lot on this board? No. But it's a square on the board. And
it's money.
And it's money. A square is better than no square. And you know what? Euporia's on the board and Leda, so it's not nothing.
And you know what they say, the square goes in the square hole. And I'm hoping that Pooh actually gets one. That'd be great.
That would be good.
That would be good.
You know, Mesmer, I was not expecting to be the first square someone would get in a match really ever. Okay, misses the roll on that first AoE explosion.
That's why we have the bubble tier, just in case. But here it is for Pooh now. Let's see this Mesmer in action. He didn't level Skidoo, I believe. Or maybe he did, actually, right before entering.
I think he did.
Okay. Oh, good heavens. Okay. Yeah, that backhand is definitely very quick.
Yeah.
CBD currently upgrading the Dragon Katana. I think might be working towards Mesmer himself, as he's also currently in Shadowkeep right before he ported. So either Mesmer or he's seeing the Gaius Hinterland synergy that we were talking about before.
I mean, upgrading the Dragon Hunter's Great Katana is giving I'm going for row 3. And I think, you know, CBD is smart enough to see that, like, okay, painting rewards is still up. I feel like okay, no, he is going back to Shadowkeep. He is warping back to Shadowkeep. All right, Pooh, you got this, baby.
There we go. Nice roll into the explosion. There we go. Nice charge dart too. Good rolls.
Good rolls. Nice delayed roll and another.
Nice.
Okay, we're looking good.
Looking already way better than the first attempt.
Ooh, babe.
Here.
Okay, hang on, Pooh. We're saucing.
Bubbled still
Frost
active.
proc coming in.
Yeah, one more hit
Dude,
should do it. There it is.
My man's hitless. Okay, not anymore, but we're feeling good.
Oh! Please
roll,
heal.
roll,
Please
and
heal.
heal.
Please heal. Okay, he's going for the stagger here
Okay,
instead.
the greed stagger, good. That's good knowledge.
Could pay off. Could pay off.
And then the heal here and back away a little bit, but don't go too far because Mesmer loves to sauce.
Okay, good. Good dodges.
Strafing. Okay, so he knows the tech. I mean,
Charge two.
My man knows this boss. I don't know that that's a punishable opener. Good roll.
A little nervous here on my end. I'm not gonna lie. He does not heal. Okay, he does go for the heal here.
Okay.
Oh!
Oh!
Sweet baby Jesus. Okay, yeah, that was a close one.
He's
Almost
looking
getting
good
to phase
though.
two.
He's looking good. Like I think he may be tilting a little bit. He may be getting a little in his own head, but
yeah.
he's looking good on this fight. Like when he's clean, Pooh is really clean. And I see shades of myself last season in him. And that is not meant as an insult. Quite the opposite. I really struggled last season with bosses. Like when I was still a new player, I was so much more comfortable doing acquisition squares and letting Chris do the bosses.
Yeah.
Oh, they are racing on this now. That's so tough.
Pooh's damage is better though here, and here's the thing: Pooh has bleed and frost, whereas okay, so looks like CBD is swapping to the backhand blades for the frost right now because he was using Dragon Katana, which doesn't have any frost on it. So he's gonna be swapping, I guess, between the two weapons to make sure that it gets the status of both, which is interesting.
But yeah, Pooh is look, for how new he is. This is not the Mesmer fight of somebody who's not comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
Strafing this overhead is all I need to see to know you know how to fight this boss.
He should be getting a stagger here soon as well. Currently, Pooh's damage, I think, is better. Okay, backing off and healing.
Chooses
That's
to take
good.
the heal. So probably going to lose the stagger build up here.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We'd rather live. The fastest way to play bingo is to not die.
Both getting some not so great RNG here on Mesmer.
I'm really curious why CBD is here.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It's a good question, actually.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me for really either of them to be here, but for Pooh, I think he just wants to get a square. But I don't see the value in this for CBD at all. Maybe I'm missing something. Remembrance weapon to max maybe is his aim here.
Not too sure. Okay, Pooh here almost in phase 2 right now. Had the frost proc. Should be getting a stagger here soon. I think he's trying to greed the stagger. Okay, he does heal. Careful, Pooh. Okay. Oh. Currently, it is Pooh that is in the lead. Gets the stagger here. Should go for the post. Thank God. I think he's going to be stuck here, though, for phase 2. He is going to be stuck there.
Yeah.
Which is fine as long as he just gets the heal up. So Pooh, first one to be in phase 2 here. Goes for a charge or two. Nice. Careful. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad.
Don't do that.
He's going to die. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to delay that second snake roll so much. Yeah, this is going to be
a possible
this is
sniping
gonna be
from
a
CBD
snipe,
now.
I think. Oh, Pooh. I'm sorry, Chief.
All right. Good fight here, though, from CBD as well. Getting some nice pokes in. Poking with a great katana. Not very great damage, though, I do have to say. The damage is definitely lacking on CBD's side here compared to Pooh. Might just be the difference in Skidoo level. But also, I think Mesmer is slightly resistant to Pierce compared to Slash. Pooh turning into a shish kebab. And there it is. Mesmer kill for CBD. Should be popping in a second. No horn scent, by the way, from either player. Letta is not on the board, but...
no, it is. It is.
Is? Oh, it is. Yeah. Row 4. Column 5. You're right. There it is. Mesmer being claimed by CBD. Pooh should see this now. I think he... I hope he saw it.
I would quit out. If I'm Pooh, I quit out here. I'm just so puzzled by this decision for CBD. I don't know. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe he wants to go for column 3. Oh, Duper Remembrance is in column 3. Okay, I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing it. He's going for Mesmer into Duper Remembrance into probably upgrade a Remembrance weapon to max. Maybe he just feels more comfortable of like, hey, my Mesmer fight is cleaner and faster than my Gaius fight.
Yeah.
Domo is having an aneurysm right now.
It's always so odd, I think, watching people fight and seeing,
because you have your tendencies, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like this is the way I roll. And seeing somebody else roll differently and not doing the same play style as you, you're like, oh wait, I don't know if I like that. It's like the same thing with V-Sweat yesterday, where he like was walk strafing the Romina attacks.
Dude, that shit is wild.
Very wild, but also makes me nervous at the same time, where I'm like, I don't know if I like that, because like if you just get swapped by that, you can start to be in combo hell with Romina very quickly if you don't do it correctly.
Right.
Oh, and there we go. Serpent, also known as Cood, apparently.
Oh, did you Google it?
A chat was saying they're called was it Salsa? Salsa. And then Wego and Cood are the 3 names.
Bro, my homies. my fucking boys.
Yeah. The 3 amigos in Elden Ring.
The 3 amigos salsa. Okay, so I do see the play now from CBD, and now Pooh wisely saying, okay, let's kill those Curse Blade Assassins.
Yeah.
Because at first when CBD came into Mesmer, I was like, okay, does he have knowledge? Like, what the fuck? But now I'm seeing with Duper Remembrance, like, so strong into that column 3 play, and the center square is going to give him 2 huge bingo threats. So Pooh wisely saying, okay, let's kill the Curse Blade Assassins. Pooh, if you watch this game back, I would say just warp to Morth Ruins, set the time to night, and you can get backstabs on the 2 Curse Blades that are there. You can get a backstab really easily on the top one. For the other one, I would say you just sneak up on him and do your best. But there's 2 right next to each other, so it's a lot faster than this. And CBD going for dragon bosses here. So he's saying, okay, let's have Pooh try to defend on column 3, and let's go for the row 3 play where it looks like I have less presence, but in reality, I'm stocked up.
I think it's a little crazy, though. I just saw CBD leveling here. He's got 70 vigor, which I feel like is a little unusual to level health that much for a bingo match. Most of the people kind of like opt for 60, maybe 65, but 70 I feel like is a little out of the norm. And like putting that maybe more into damage, or maybe even just buying talismans with that type of money.
Yeah, the talisman play is hugely under-repped, like I said yesterday.
Yeah.
I will say yesterday, I wound up with like 600k runes and nothing to spend them on because I was talismaned up and everything, and I just wanted to get rid of them, so I leveled health to like 90 and then just ran away.
That is fair.
You know, I do get it, like, you know, bigger health bar, less death, but you do want more dex. I mean, you flatly want more dex, especially with this weapon. I would say at least 50 dex.
Here we go. This is the second Curse Blade here from Pooh. Going to be blocking that row 1 and column 3, which I think is a really good idea. But CBD not even working on column 3 anymore. Going for dragon bosses from the looks of it.
That's what I'm saying. I think CBD sets up this column 3 to make it look like, hey, that's what I'm doing. And then because he only technically has 1 square in row 3, it looks like he's not going for it.
Oh,
but I think that is what he's actually doing. And Pooh's got a square on the board. Let's go. And a nice block. A nice block as well. It's got to feel good to get a square. Now it's got to be painting rewards, right?
You would think so. You would think so, yeah. And I'm kind of expecting that a little bit here from Pooh, especially for grabbing the first painting. But it looks like that we're currently just sticking to Morth Ruins for right now. Maybe we're going to wait towards Hippo?
The center square is so strong here because you got to block because it's promoting several lines for CBD right now.
Yep. This makes so much
Pooh.
more sense. He killed the dragon, not just for the dragon heart and a dragon boss, but also for the Somber 10.
Yeah, the Somber 10. Okay, CBD gaming out of his gourd right now.
Great
really
idea.
Smart play. Really intelligent. Get a square on the board and, get some runes to upgrade the weapon with. Plus, put some progress towards row 3. That's really good.
That is really, really solid, yeah. And Pooh here currently going towards what seems to be maybe getting a legendary Ash summon.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess here, too.
Seem that way.
Also, mausoleums.
That does blocks a diagonal. Could also do red bear here, yeah. For the second mausoleum, not a bad play. We're gonna see another square here for CBD momentarily. Upgrading the Spear of the Impaler to +10. This is going to give him that square in row 1, column 2. There it is.
Currently 5-1 here for CBD. Pressuring right now only really kind of row 3. That Curse Blade definitely came in clutch, blocking that row 1 and column 3.
Yeah, really great play from Pooh.
Yeah. Really, really nice block for sure. Yeah, he's going for that legendary summon.
It kind of created value for him to give up on that square earlier because it forced CBD to try some more stuff to hit that line.
Yeah.
Obviously not what Pooh wanted. He would have liked to have marked it earlier and not wasted the time. But, sometimes things work out.
I think, honestly, here, maybe still committing to paintings into masks definitely gives you a pretty cheeky diagonal here from bottom left to top right. And then trying to maybe force Chief Bloodfiend, so you have Putrescent Knight and Jolan and Anna, which are 2 very separate long-distance squares that you could try and push CBD into wasting some time doing that to then just try and block his other bingos.
Yeah, true. Legendary Spirit Ash blocks one of the diagonals and it blocks column 4. And since, CBD hasn't shown any presence in row 3 yet, so maybe Pooh thinks the long play is column 4. In which case, this is a fine block. It blocks 2 rows that CBD currently is promoting at least a little bit. So, I don't hate it. And yeah, like you said, this can be Pooh's second mausoleum as well to block column 2. I don't hate it. I
don't mind it either. I think that would be...
I think it's a complete lunacy that the center square is still open, but what do I know?
We are 45 minutes in here. Looks like that CBD is currently prepping for Florisac's sleep time. Good old sleepy time by getting the black syrup to Tiolier, getting that concoction, and then moving straight back over to good old Florisac's. Benadryl going to be hitting hard.
Dude, when the Benadryl hits, am I right, homies?
Shout out to the Benadryl.
Shout out. Can we get a sponsor? You do have to talk to Florisac's and start the communion. I don't know if CBD knows that. Okay, Pooh died to the lava. Not a great look.
He missed the jump onto the pipe.
I think this game is going to be a big learning session for Pooh. Okay, CBD needs to talk to Florisac's and enter the Dragon Communion first. Then you sleep tonight and she's here.
Take the blessing of some sorts.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't even take the blessing.
He, maybe you don't have to. I think you do have to.
Maybe at the least having dialogue. I'm not sure. All I know is I spam nighttime, and at some point she just goes away.
Okay, she's there. Okay, maybe you just talk to her.
There it is. Puts her to sleep. There we go. And as soon as you have control of your character again, there you go and mark it. Beautiful. CBD currently 6-1 on the board now. Kind of activating that row 2 with collect perfume bottles, acquire Golden Braid, and Putrescent Knight. Again, like we mentioned before, row 2 is very much pushing somebody around the whole map. And CBD already has all that progress. He can get to Lamenter's jail for the freeze bottle to get the 4th bottle if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
He already has access to the backside of Shadowkeep so he can get to the Golden Braid. He already has a Grace on the southern region for Putrescent Knight. He could push this row 2 if he really, really wanted to. There's a second square here now for Pooh, grabbing the legendary Ash Summon and blocking that diagonal, and row 4, column 4.
So CBD is heading to Gaius here. I actually think this is an interesting play because what this does for CBD, even if he's choosing to do row 3 over row 2, which I still contend, I think row 3 is the strongest bingo line on this board by a mile. Even if you are doing row 3, hitting Golden Braid here forces Pooh to go everywhere. Like, it is such a good offense-defense play of, like, if you mark Golden Braid, Pooh is just like, okay, I guess I'll do all the perfume bottles and Putrescent Knight. Like you said, Dom, it's just all over the place. So I do really like this play, and it's a pretty quick pickup. Like, if you're not killing Gaius, just getting the Golden Braid does not take very long.
Yeah.
So this is a really great quick pickup for CBD. And also, I think there is something to be said about, like, even if you have huge presence on the board for bingos, if there's a square that takes less than 3 minutes and it's still open, go do it. Like, if you can get Golden Braid right now, why not?
Right. He is grabbing the Grace here. It looks like that Pooh is going for Red Bear as an NPC mausoleum as well. Going to be activating that Spirit Spring real quick and then going to go for that fight. And yeah, CBD going straight for that Golden Braid, not even going for the Commander Gaius fight. Grabbing the Skidoo Fragment. Pooh dying to gravity here. I'm not sure why he jumped off. But yeah, so there's that. Golden Braid going to be picked up here by CBD in the next 30 seconds-ish, getting past those Tree Sentinels.
I think I say this, I've said this for many years about speedrunning specifically, but I think it applies to bingo too. You have to make every mistake at least once. Like, you need to, for lack of a better word, fuck up on, like, every little thing at least one time. And then that is locked away in your brain as, like, a way not to screw up anymore.
Yeah.
And so for like, to get the perfect speed run you're trying to get, right? I usually view it as, like, you need to make every mistake in that any percent run possible at least one time before you can craft the perfect one.
Okay, I kind of see what Pooh is maybe doing here. He activated the Spirit Spring for Red Bear, but now is looking for the Gravestones to drop down to Chief Bloodfiend first, then wants to do Mausoleums, and maybe he sees the diagonal. Maybe he sees the diagonal that we were talking about before with the 2 paintings and the helms, and starts pushing that instead. There is the Golden Braid from CVD now, 7-2 currently on squares, and maybe pushing for that row 3 now.
I'm going to be honest with you. I did not know these gravestones were here.
Yeah, if we look at the handy-dandy map.
Hey, pull up the map, baby.
Here's the map real quick. Going up to the map screen here, Chaz. Both players are traveling. If you zoom in here where Grand Pooh Bear is right now, there is little gravestone indicators, actually, right on this wall. So whenever you see these types of bad boys, there are gravestones that you can traverse on. Same thing over here. When you do the little skip at Scorched Ruins, there's gravestones. So if you're ever wondering if there's gravestones where you're at, you just look at the map, and there's a bunch of them. Same here with the hippos. When you go to Jory, there's gravestones as well. So everywhere, a lot of little gravestone indications, which I really like about the map design about Elden Ring as well, is that they have those. One thing I don't like in the DLC map that they have in the base game map is they have little red squares indicating entrances for caves in the base game.
Yeah. Like, but only for specific caves.
Yeah.
It's not for every cave in the game, but like for specific ones, yes.
And it's a shame they don't have that at all for
yeah,
for
it
the
is
DLC.
kind of hard to find some of the caves in the DLC. But yeah, this being able to come down to Chief Bloodfiend from above kind of adds some value to lower Rao ruins. So that's cool.
Yeah. We're gonna be having a
I'm
fight
learning.
here now, and we're gonna be fun to watch. See how this Chief Bloodfiend behaves for Pooh this time around. Because this
There's
guy
that
can be
AoE
mean.
blood at the entrance from one of the mobs outside. That's the most annoying part about this fight. Jump R2s will stagger this guy out of any attack he's not hyper armored in.
Hopefully Pooh does know that.
I only know that because I got stuck on this boss in a rando run recently.
Okay, getting the Frost proc here is huge for sure. Might get a stagger here soon. Oh, here comes the stomp attack. I hate the stomp attack. Okay, gets a tapped R2, another tap R2.
No.
He's got to be careful here that he doesn't bleed proc. Chief is not having any of it.
Jump R2s, like I said, really good on this boss.
Oh my god.
Okay, there is a
Fucking
stake
kill
of America. There's a stake of America.
I only had one shot and just my chance.
Sadly,
to blow.
that is
I
a
can't-
death
I
for
can't
Pooh
kill
here
him.
at the moment. We're going to move over back to the big screen as CBD currently making his way over to bail from the looks of it. I think he is finally pushing that row 3 that we're talking about, or at the very least, trying to push column 2 and row 3 presence.
Yeah, he can promote a lot of lines, sort of simultaneously, just given how much board presence he has. To use poker terms, we're looking at a 7-deuce offsuit on the scores here, gamers. CBD with 7, Pooh with just 2. Kind of a commanding game from CBD here. But Pooh, I think, is showing us how I feel about Pooh's performance so far is like, I really feel like we are just a few weeks away from Pooh in final form. Like, I think give Pooh a little time, and I think he's going to be a threat.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned before, there's some mistakes that he just has to make in order to actually feel better about matches and just feel better about squares. I mean, that's pretty much the essence, I would say, of hitless running, is you are going to constantly make small mistakes. Then each run you're like, okay, well, I know I'm not supposed to do that anymore to not get hit. Let me not do that in the next run. And you keep just messing up the farther you get into the run until you finally just get that hitless run and there aren't any issues at all, no mistakes. And that's pretty much how it is for bingo in that case too, where you're just trying to flawlessly execute any of the squares without making any minor mistakes in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Good dodges from Pooh.
Yeah,
Fight
very
already
nicely
looking
strafing.
way cleaner. Jump
There we
R2
go.
going to stagger. Huge. Let's get that riposte from the front. Okay. So, little
Slap in
known
the
fact about back versus front riposte on bosses that have back versus front riposte. We'll call them bipedal bosses. Nice kill. Backside riposte do less damage than frontside riposte most of the time.
Yep.
So if a boss staggers, you want to take the front riposte every time.
The reason why you sometimes do opt into the back stab rather than the front stab, though, is just time. Some bosses have really high recovery, and you're like, I get it. You know, like, I gotta stab.
Do I gotta get it? It also knocks them on their face, which like could be a longer getup, and it puts you in good position as well. Could be good.
This is going to be Pooh now going for possibly Mausoleum boss is going to be going for Red Bear, while CBD is going to be going towards Jory now from the looks of it, maybe grabbing that painting reward for the Jagged Peak Mountain.
And you know what? This promotes row 3 so well. This is extra synergy I didn't even think of. You have to get to Jory or get to the Age One's Exaltation in near Midra's Manse, right?
Right.
And you're already getting the painting, which is on the way.
Yeah.
So this is, dude, row 3 slaps. I think you can win this game by just rushing row 3 and nothing else. Potentially, this is a fast row.
I mean, semi-fast because of Abyssal Woods, but yeah, it's still pretty quick at the very least.
I think if you get this grace and then do painting rewards, your opponent is never going to beat you to Age One's Exaltation if you're already there.
Yeah. Here we go, going up to the Mausoleum now.
Red Bear, surprisingly difficult NPC.
I don't know about surprise. I guess so. I mean, I honestly, like, at first, I guess you sometimes think that maybe NPCs are a bit of a pushover. But Red Bear definitely, I would say, is harder than the Knight of the Solitary Jail.
Oh, yeah.
Just based on the fact that he is way more rabid. Dude's a freak. And on top of that,
freak.
he's got like
The iframes, dude. The iframes.
he's got his claw attacks are also really strong, especially if he does the Ash of War of the Red Bear claws, which is that like gust of wind that like double or quadruple hits with the bleed build up on top of that. Like that can be devastating on top of the roar of the bear incantation.
Dude, every jump attack, like every lunging and jumping attack he has like crazy iframes, and or his hitbox is just really weird during them.
Yeah.
And so with the Great Katana specifically, it is hard to hit him. You kind of just have to go for roll catches like Pooh is doing. This is a hard boss to get in on because like Dom said, if you get hit by a bunch of these attacks, you bleed so fast.
Yep.
And CBD is doing painting rewards here.
Yeah.
And he has the Grace by the Ghost Flame Dragon Lake down here, so it's going to be easy enough to pick up this first one.
Yep.
And then he already has the progress on the second one. This is going to be a fast little square pickup. But also at the same time, CBD's got 7 squares here. Promoting row 3 and then going for majority isn't a horrible play. But I do think just going for row 3 here is safest, cleanest, and is going to get the job done.
That's that Red Bear attack that I'm talking about. Is that like tapped R2 where he just like slides from left to right. It could be very quick and very hard to react to sometimes. There is that bear roar. Gotta be careful. Sometimes he can double cast that bear roar, by the way. So if you're like, oh, that's the first roar, okay, I can start running in now, he can do it again and deals an insane amount of damage. Getting that frost proc again here on Red Bear is really good for Pooh. Already is past the flask healing as well. So this is going actually pretty well for him. Just has to make sure that he paces this fight out correctly. There is that stupid iframe attack again.
Yes, where you swipe and he ducks.
Yeah, his head is just not in the hitbox area for some reason. First painting going to be collected here though from CBD. Now going for that second painting already. Going to be jumping up here. You don't have to jump up here for the painting. Stay on the bottom. It is faster because then you don't have to jump down again and go down to the right.
Ooh, okay. This is good knowledge.
So keep that in mind here because he's going to have to jump down and then he's going to go and hook back to the right again. He's already too far. He has to go backwards for the painting.
Maybe he doesn't know where it is?
I think he's going for...
The Bale Grace? And
no,
then...
no.
He just doesn't know where it is.
He's lost. He's a little lost. It's a little tricky. It's definitely a little tricky. Don't take the Spirit Spring. It's a trap. You just want to go up to the right side instead. It's going to be right here. There you go. And just wait out the fog. 2 hits here left on Red Bear for Pooh, which is going to be huge to be getting this square. Going to be blocking that column 2 at the very least. And then I hope that he's considering. Very nice tag at the very end. GG's.
Great job,
to Pooh here. Grabbing 4 squares now on the board. 7-4.
This old man takes his sweet time to appear.
There it is. That is now 8-4 currently for CBD in the lead. And yeah, here it is. This is Pooh going to be grabbing the masks now. Sadly, that diagonal is now out the window as Pooh did not prioritize paintings. He could have had a really nice cheeky diagonal to work towards. And this Fire Knight is also not having any of Pooh's shenanigans, going straight into fire mode. That blocking is so annoying too. Why do they do that?
I think CBD is going for this Ghost Flame Dragon here.
Good heavens. What a combo.
I mean, you have to admit that combo looks so sick.
It looks so cool, but I wish we had the same option. We don't even get that. We don't get that Ash of War.
Yeah, true.
Which is so just a shame.
Wait, it's going to happen here? Oh, Pooh, we got to roll.
He's got it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Right.
Okay, sick.
Huge.
Pooh has exercised his demon. Whatever that guy's name was.
Coop.
Coop. We got Coop.
Making our way towards
Salsa.
We Go now.
We Go.
Yeah, We Go. You know, what was it stupid? We go to the polls, but it's Pokemon go to the polls.
Oh, wait, he can just drop down here. So,
Yeah.
like, when the water is lowered, you do not need to do this whole charade here.
Pooh does not know.
You can just drop down. The kill plane is gone. He's not losing like a ton of time here. I mean, this is not crazy. And you can drop from above onto Wego here.
Yep.
CBD is not going for the Ghost Flame Dragon.
I think he might.
Oh, Lightning Ram. Just trying to block row 5 and get another square. This is just another case of like, hey, if there's a quick square open, take it.
Right. And he has the grace for it. You might as well.
And you get the perfumer bottle as well.
Okay, he's trying to get in line. This is what I was struggling with at TwitchCon myself, is getting that correct angle. There it is. It gets one hit.
Okay, this Ashavor is kind of nice for this.
It is really good, but also I'm a little surprised.
The damage is low.
The damage is lower than I expected. Gets the perfume bottle here and also the lightning ram. So it is actually a 2-for-1, which is really, really nice. Has to line it up here for again. Gets the hit again. Next time now has to make sure that he's a little bit more to the left. Pooh here working on WeGo right now. Almost done, actually, with WeGo.
Dude, the rain.
What? That's hilarious.
Look at CBD. Look at CBD.
Absolutely. Dude, just got bamboozled.
Ram is going Spider-Man mode. You can't help but laugh. I mean, what are you gonna do?
That was amazing.
This square is such a meme, dude.
It's a great meme.
All right, there you go.
Very, very nice. Lightning Ram on the board now for CBD. 9-4, current 5-square lead. Pooh about to have his second mask. There it is. We go going down.
We going down.
WeGo is actually the same name from that Budweiser commercial, I believe, where they call the dog WeGo, and then he goes, yeah, why don't you call my dog? And goes, here we go, as in here we go from the Budweiser.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a commercial I just...
This stream sponsored by Budweiser. Bud Light. It's only slightly better than Miller Lite.
Beer, yay!
We do not promote drinking here at Bingo Brawlers. In fact, you know, we do promote subscribing, gamers. There are ads. Unfortunately, Twitch makes us run them. But if you want to support the show and support Mr. Captain Domo for putting together a wonderful event, please do sub. Give some subs. Hey, chuck in a prime if you got it. All right? Help keep the lights on. Keep these map transitions looking fresh, etc.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was very nice of you. And
yeah.
Dude, shout outs again though to Ada for hopping on commentary for me spontaneously. I do appreciate it.
Oh, I got you, baby. It's the Lord's Day, and this is my penance.
I mean, it's not working if you're having fun.
I am having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to confession, and the priest was like, you got to get on commentary with Domo. And I was like, oh, really?
You got to make up for something.
I killed a guy. Anyway. All right, so CBD's getting the main gauche here, or if you want to say the French, the main gauche, which literally just means left hand, because he's got to be able to parry the aged ones for the Exaltation Talisman, and this is the only way to parry in the DLC. Because we have removed the ability to buy Bernie's, Bernal's parry in the Roundtable shop, this is now the only way to parry in the DLC. Yep. There is no parry shield anywhere in the DLC. Which means you have to get the Mangosh, which actually creates like kind of an interesting synergy play with like Golden Hippo or getting to the storehouse, because there's like implicit value in other squares, because there's 2 or 3 parry squares total on the board. There's the Age One's Exaltation Talisman, and then there's parrying Remembrance Boss as well, so kind of interesting.
Yeah. Salsa coming up here for Pooh now.
Me every time I go to a Mexican restaurant. Salsa coming up now. Anyway.
The me when memes have infested my brain. I'm not going to lie. I started playing TCG Shop on stream, and my card shop is called Me When I Open Up a Card Shop. Which is a great name, but man, it's...
Sorrow Chris has given us brain rot, it must be said.
Salsa, I think, is actually one of the scarier Fire Knights here, by the way, because she does seem to have like what seems to be an infinite dagger combo when she just starts dancing towards you. It's insane. It's
truly infinite.
It's
bananas. There is, and I hate to say it, yo, Jace MC with the 20 gifted subs. You love to see it. Thank you,
Peepo
gamers.
claps. Peepo claps.
There is, and again, I hate to say it, a gravity cheese on Salsa, and I just can't recommend it. Prescribing gravity cheese is against my religion. But it does exist. You like lead him up to the elevator shaft and then have him go up the elevator and come back down. or knock him down the open elevator shaft, either way. But I think if you are highly upgraded enough, I truly think killing them is like equally as fast.
Yep. And Pooh, by the way, grabbing a 5th square here, which is the 3 masks now, grabbing that corner square. Sadly, I think all bingo lines are blocked out here for Pooh, but he can go ahead and definitely be going for some earlier squares that maybe aren't pushing CBD's lines. Most likely that are just free.
CBD kind of struggling with the twin peak drakes here, which understandable. If you don't kill the smaller one, this fight can be so annoying.
Yep.
I will say, I don't know if this has affected you, Dom, but it has affected me, and I think I just saw it affect CBD. In the recent patch where they changed it such that when Torrent dies and you resummon it by spending a flask,
yeah,
they changed a good change. They made it hover over yes instead of no, which is really good for combat. But I am so muscle memoried in on menuing over that now I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's caught me off guard a couple of times, but now I'm used to it at this point to where it's not that big of a problem anymore. But definitely at first it was a bit of a nightmare. Pooh here, by the way, going for jails now, going into the Aunts jail, looking to clear 2 jails, I guess, as his next square. I'm not sure if he recognizes the throw 3 or if he's just thinking, this is just something that he's comfortable with.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't see Lightning Ram marked and he thinks this is a possible bingo line for him. I don't know. But yeah, I would say blocking row 2 and or row 3 is the absolute thing of importance right now.
Yep.
Maybe he's calling a bluff here. I don't know.
I think for some newer players, I think recognizing threats is still a little bit of a skill that they need to be picking up on. Is like, especially, okay, so this is a thing that was surprising. In Season 1, this type of behavior or this type of reading was very common. Where it was like, okay, there's 2 or 3 squares, but I'm not just worried enough yet to go for it. And then in Season 2, it completely flipped. Whereas as soon as you get 1 to 2 squares, it's like, okay, is there something that there's something I don't see, or that's already a bit of a problem? And so some of these players that have played in previous seasons already have that type of behavior of being like, okay, I already see 2 squares. I got to pick one of these 3 to get rid of that threat because I do not want to deal with being pigeonholed into only one option.
Right.
And so I think this is just another like learning thing for Pooh is recognizing threats a little bit sooner and being like, okay, I have to stop this before I only get 1 or 2 options of blocking, and those options are probably going to suck because that's what you do. You're going to leave the last option as the worst option. In this case, being acquiring Aged One's Exaltation, going to be the worst one for row 3, and Perfume Bottles most likely for row 2.
The quit out game is just not. It's not there yet. That you got to die in Elden Ring 1,000 times before the quit out game gets strong.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I learned to run Elden Ring, I literally just sat there and quit out. You know what it actually is? I think it's that Pooh has never had to do the Knight's Cav cheese in Dragon Barrow.
You get the practice for that.
That is where you learn to quit out fast. That is the quit out fast training ground. But he did have that unfortunate thing where, like, if you quit out just slow enough, the game kills you anyway. If you quit out the same frame you die, you soft lock, which is fun.
Yeah, well, that's also, great. The funny thing,
CBD killing Jagged Peak Drake there as well. What are you going to say, Domo?
No, go ahead.
No, that's it.
I was just going to say, like, actually, the way I learned how to quit out was when there was a bit of a rivalry on who had the fastest quit out in the West. And it was, Chris, Parky, Aggie, and I. And everyone's saying, oh yeah, I'm faster at quitting out, to where like that became like a routine thing of seeing who could do it quicker. And then that was pretty much my training arc of like, okay, how fast can my fingers go to actually just do the quit out? And
I gotta tell you, dude, the quit out muscle memory is so ingrained into my blood now. I can do it so fast. It's such a damn shame they made it slower.
Yeah, it's horrible. The menu delay is so bad. We have here now, by the 2 dragon bosses for CBD, and he's going straight now into the Bale fight with Egon, I'm assuming. He did get the furled finger. So this is definitely going to be a row 3 possible bingo for CBD. He did get the main gosh on top of that. So I think he's very much beelining the row 3 bingo at this point.
Yeah, and this was the line that we called out right at the beginning. Roll with that. Good. This is the line we called out at the beginning as being the strongest potential line, and I really do think it is. It is such a good line, great synergy throughout. It's such a shame. I struggle to see that kind of line when I'm playing, though, because in prep time, you're doing like 10 things at once.
Oh, yeah.
And so for us, when we're just looking at the card for 3 minutes, it's like, oh, well, obviously row 3 is good. But you do wonder if the players actually see it immediately or not, because I don't. I think that is a weak point of mine, is spotting strong lines early.
It's also like a thing of like, you know, when you are doing a puzzle and you're like, dude, I have no idea where this piece is going to go. And then someone just walks up and is like, oh, like right here. Because
goes right here.
you've
You're
been
like,
staring
oh,
at the
yeah.
board for so long. You know what I mean? Like at some point you start to just like miss, you know, smaller details or things that maybe are, you know, are obvious to somebody else that hasn't been staring at the board for so long. You know, it's just part of it, I think. For sure. Odds here, by the way, as well now for Pooh. This should be one of the jails that he's going to be clearing. Nice bleed proc.
Yeah, really great.
Bale kind of slow here, actually, for CBD. I'm a little surprised. He's definitely a little bit slower than I expected. Egon doing some really good damage, though.
If CBD's damage is not great, I think it's the Skidoo level here. I think we're seeing a pretty low Skidoo. Ooh, and getting caught. I think he thought that was going to be on Egon and not on him, which, fair enough. Hate this attack.
It's fine. You can walk it. I don't think it's that bad. That is, by the way, GG's to Pooh.
If it catches you at all. Like,
Terrible bro fight.
Yeah, it's bad. GG's to Pooh, though, killing Aunt's first try. We did have some insane Aunt's gameplay yesterday, so Pooh getting that first try, props to him for sure. Very tricky boss sometimes.
Yeah, this Bale fight, slow going here for CBD. The damage is just not really there.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think partially it's not hitting the head and getting those piercing attacks on the head itself. He's kind of opting into Ashes of War instead of going for those running R1 piercing attacks with the Great Katana.
Does get a hit in.
Here.
Strafing to the left. This is not the way I strafe. Again, with the like watching somebody else fight a boss and you're like,
Yeah. Looking pretty good, though, for the most part. Currently at half health now on Bale. And it looks like that Pooh is going to be grabbing maybe the main Gosh here. Doesn't go for any extra hits, though. That's surprising.
Yeah, I would have gone for maybe an L2 there. You have a lot of time.
Yeah, you have a good amount of time for sure.
He did heal, so maybe he was just like, oh, I probably don't have enough time left.
One cheeky R1 would have been fine, too.
Maybe he tried to get a cheeky R1, but it did that thing where it goes for the riposte instead of the R1 you wanted.
Nice rolls, though.
Well,
very
yeah,
nice.
Really, that attack is so hard to dodge.
Yeah, very, very nice rolls. Gets the jumping R2 as well for that. For anyone that doesn't know, you can actually jump the after explosion on that attack. So you can jump punish Bale for that. Oh my god, Egon actually staggering Bale with the Dragon's
With the roar?
That was amazing. That was so cool. That was really freaking cool.
Are we going to see a bleed proc soon, maybe?
Egon still being alive is huge. Yeah, Bale can definitely bleed. Yeah, 100%. Does Egon just get like a headshot with an arrow here? That'd be amazing. There it is.
Oh, great kill. The second phase was so clean there for CBD.
Very, very nice. There's the marking as well. Row 4 now looking row 3, my apologies. Looking very strong here for CBD now. Just has to get the acquired one's exaltation. Acquire the aged one's exaltation. I missed a word there. Yeah, speaking of words, by the way, English words. Exaltation, what does that mean?
Exaltation is like to like profess, I think, or like it's something to do with like you release a lot. Yeah, okay. The definition online is a feeling of triumphant elation or jubilation, rejoicing.
Interesting. Okay.
I only know it because of going to church as a kid, and songs frequently have like an exaltation of God or whatever.
Okay. I got you. Yeah, so it looks like they both might be going for this. I think Pooh might be lost.
Trying to find the ladder here?
Yeah. He's trying to find the drop down. which
yeah,
is
it's too far.
all to the
Oh,
right.
no, he needs main gauche.
I think he has main Gosh.
Does he?
I could have sworn he already went this way.
I don't know. CBD did for sure.
Maybe he didn't get it. Yeah, maybe you're right.
This table is broken.
Oh no, my table.
My table.
It's broken. I think he doesn't know where main Gosh is, actually. He's been grabbing random items off the ground.
Is he going to turn left here?
Oh.
Okay, maybe he does know. He's turning left. Oh, he's picking this up too, though.
Okay. No. Yeah.
Oh,
No, yeah. There it is.
Yeah. That's the one.
There we
Hotter,
go.
hotter, burning hot. Good quit out.
Okay. Yeah, that was
Good game. Good game sense.
That was a good quit out. That was definitely a good quit out. But sadly, CBD already way farther ahead here. They do both have to kill Jory, so maybe there's a Jory incident. Could be. Maybe.
Could be.
Potentially.
Who knows?
But yeah, this is definitely looking a little tough here for Pooh, already being behind on that row 3 block.
Yeah, I would say this is almost certainly GG unless CBD has a massive incident.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he does, I mean, you know, CBD has more presence on perfumer bottles. He's probably quicker on Remembrance Boss 6 parries. Should be just 2 quick squares.
Oh, you have to go all the way to the other side here, Pooh. Yep, there you go. Once he gets to that other side, he's going to have that ladder drop down that goes to the second painting. Yeah, this could have been huge. This could have definitely been huge if Pooh rushed paintings as one of his earlier squares.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Really would have been nice for sure. But here we have CBD currently in the Darklit Catacombs now, making his way towards the second part of the catacomb. Oh, no, this is the first part. Never mind. Sorry. My apologies. This is the entrance. I just thought an elevator, and I thought that was already the second one. See what he's doing here is something, by the way, that I feel like I should be doing more too, is back hopping off of the elevator, because you're able to do a running segment a little bit quicker rather than doing just the normal drop down like that, because you do get that superhero landing. So if you do a back step, apparently that animation doesn't really happen. You're gonna
The
see him do it
backstep
again.
also carries you really far. Like your
Yeah.
momentum keeps going when you backstep.
Yeah. So we're going to see it here in just a moment. He's going to backstep off of the elevator and then just keep on running.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is something that I got to do.
Learn,
sure.
champ.
Nice jump here as well. Oh, doesn't do the skip jump. Okay, he's trying to do skip jump. But...
So I haven't learned this yet. How hard is this?
Jumping onto the ladder, not hard at all. Jumping onto the like little mini ledge, very. Again, everyone skips this. Okay, so there is like, if you see them run that segment, I wish I could rewind.
I mean, he tried it twice.
No. So like the part that he just ran, so like you see like there's the little ramp, and then there's the imp to the left, right? Just a little bit past the imp, there is a dent in the railing. You can drop down there, and you'll be right where the elevator is.
Really?
You go past the Death Knight armor set and go down the ladder, and then you'll be where the elevator is. And that
I feel like there's a lot in this catacomb pathing-wise that I don't know.
Yeah, so there's a little dip in the railing where you can just like literally just walk down. There's gonna be a really small ledge you can drop down onto. You can grab the Death Knight armor if you really wanted to, or just go down straight to, down the ladder right afterwards. The faster thing, however, is just landing on the ladder. So all you do is just jump on the railing and then jump towards the ladder, and the ladder itself has an extended hitbox from the wall, so it's very easy just to land on the ladder itself, and then you just slide down it.
Okay. And CBD heading to Jory here.
Pooh trying to find those gravestones. Getting to the lower lake here. Gets grabbed by a manfly, though. Manfly was just hungry. Had a snack on someone real quick. Quick little nibbling. Just nibbling. Just nibbling. Here we go. We have a Jory fight now from CBD. I'm going to bring him up on the big screen here real quick. Still not a fan of Jory. I don't understand people that like Jory. I really don't.
people like this boss?
Yeah, Aggie does.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
If it didn't have ads, maybe.
It is like just a worse Renala. Is Jori. Way more summons.
Honestly, the two things I would change first: get rid of the ads, and then remove the gravestones. Like clean up the arena a little bit.
The rest is pretty good, though. I do agree. The rest is like
Yeah, I'm fine with
cool.
his melee attacks and his ranged attacks. I'm totally chill with. I think they're interesting, and like you could make him a little harder, but just get rid of the ads.
Nice backstab looping here, though, from CBD. Swapping between the Frost and the Bleeding as well, between the backhand blades and the Dragon Katana. Very, very nice rotations. And, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of backstab cheeses, but honestly...
In this
boss,
occasion?
yeah. I honestly, I've, if anything, recommend it. Because dealing with Phase 2 Jori, it is so obnoxious sometimes. It is not fun.
Nice fight. That's it. That should be it. A charge R2 or a tap R1 or something.
There we go.
Here.
Very, very nice
Very
fight
nice.
from CBD. And we're going to move back onto the main screen here. Going to be seeing CBD grabbing that Aged One's Exaltation Talisman and calling it a Bingus. Pooh trying to find the gravestones for the Darklit Catacombs here. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. What do you think about... I know this is not over just yet, but we are leaning into the final moments of this match. For Blanks versus Bushy, how do you feel about that?
Dude, I got no idea.
It's
I
gonna be
feel
very
like
interesting.
Bushy has had such a strong showing on these first 2 days.
Yeah.
And is looking like a really dominant player in the meta right now. But having played Blanks yesterday, I think Blanks was just getting the heebie-jeebies out against me, I'll be honest. Because I think Blanks is very good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think with one match under his belt, you know, got the nerves out, let's lock in. I think Blanks is going to have a really great showing against Bushy. I think it's going to be a really great match.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. Luckily, you know, Bushy gets a break in between a two-match day. So just like mentally reset for a quick moment and, you know, maybe do some last-minute studying if he really wants to on either Squares or Bushy or on Blanks himself on his playstyle. Because I feel like out of all the players, we've seen the least from Blanks for practice matches / actual matches. And I think it's going to be very exciting to see like what kind of playstyle or what kind of you know, board reading Blanks does for his official matches. There it is, the
nice
parry.
Parry.
Very nice. That repose seems a little bit slower on these guys for some reason. That was weird.
It might be the backhand blades. And there it is. GG's to CBD. Bingo on row 3. I don't want to say I called it, but I called it in like the first 2 minutes. Let's go. Really excellent showing from CBD here. And I think Pooh has a lot that he's got like, okay, I can clean this up. I can clean this up.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the Pooh training arc in action. And it's really great to see.
I definitely agree here. Very much a set in stone style, I think, for CBD for sure. Going for different lines and then just pressuring different pressure points to then just bulldoze one line, I think is a great strategy here. And I'm going to go ahead and see if both are ready. I know that they like to say yes right away for their interviews, and it drives me insane. But I will still always ask.
It's good to ask.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is match day 2. No, sorry, not match day 2. I'm so sorry. Match 2 of today concluded. Victory for Bushy in match 1, and then victory for CBD in match 2. I'll go ahead and bring in CBD real quick here for the post-game interviews. And, yeah. CBD, welcome on in. GG's, good sir. GG's.
GG's.
Thank you. Yeah. What's up?
Well played. How do you feel about the match?
As soon as I saw the board, I knew it was going to be silence on the squares for a bit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad, like for Pooh, just because I feel like this board, it was very much like it wasn't just like, oh, just go here and do something simple. It's like, okay, you have to like find the trigonometry of, Mitter's fingers, and then, XXYY ladder stall on top of Rust, you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it was kind of complicated.
So right at the beginning of the match, Domo and I both saw row 3 as like easily the strongest line on this board.
Mhm.
Was that in the back of your mind the whole time? Or were you sort of like, if I get it, I get it, but I'm looking for majority instead?
It was much more looking for a majority. I mean, I saw it, right? Because obviously it's painting rewards and the dragon stuff. But
Right.
there was also like column 2 that I was looking at as well, and row 2.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like row 2 probably would have been probably a bit faster, I'd imagine, as well. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of came out that way. I kind of realized I guess I wasn't sure if he was over by Jagged Peak at all, so I just decided to go there. So
Can you explain to us the, holding on to the Great Katana for a little bit? Like what's the, is the, you didn't hold on to it for like forever or anything. But you held on to it for at least like a good minute, I think. It's hard to remember now. It was at the beginning of the match, but like, is that sort of to see, is Pooh gonna take it, and then you can keep the Great Katana, or sort of what's the mentality?
yeah, I mean, pretty much. I held on to it for a while. Like at my earliest convenience, I sold it just because I think I saw 2 very early squares, and I wanted the Blood Fiend arm. And since I kind of realized that I would have to upgrade the backhand blades anyways, I just went and sold it as I was upgrading.
Sure.
So I don't know, I feel like a board like this, you really do need the early squares, or else like then everyone is going to be setting up for the mid to late game anyways. So you kind of want some presence on the board, even if it costs you, I don't know, like 2 other synergy squares later on.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were saying too. Like getting map presence is maybe more important than like a bunch of rush stuff on this board.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring in Pooh in as well real quick as we were talking about the early game. Pooh, welcome in, by the way. GG's, man. GG's.
GG's, Pooh.
On, gentlemen. I this is one of those boards where I think it was actually a lot closer than the board's gonna reveal. Like when we look at the history of this, because if I get that Mesmer down before him, that's a completely different board. That was this whole race. This was a race to Mesmer, essentially. So
Which was an interesting choice, though, from both of you guys. We were kind of trying to figure out, like, why was Mesmer picked when you guys... Because you both pretty much went to Mesmer at the same time around.
yeah.
But why Mesmer, I guess? Was it because of the duping the Remembrance?
Well, we didn't. Well, Domo, we thought it was a weird play because we didn't see Duper. Remember?
Right. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking, though.
Yeah, Mesmer. So like literally, so my first thought, like when I see this board, is, oh, this is Mesmer, right? And I want to talk about one extremely big mistake I made. So basically, I was letting him sell one of either the arm or the katana, right? And I was just gonna use the other. And so he sells the katana, I go get the arm, and then I go to get the painting too, instead of selling it right away.
Yeah, Pooh, that was a tough, because you
one.
were racing on Bloodfiend's arm, and to be honest, you both kind of beefed it. Like neither of your Blood Fiends were very clean. And so we were like, oh my God, who's gonna get it? The two of you were neck and neck, and then Pooh just ran to the painting, and I was like, no!
Yeah, it was, and like literally, I went to click it, and I watched it turn blue as I was going to click when I sold. But that's like inexperience. But yeah, for me, like, and I don't know how CBD felt, but I saw Mesmer, Duper Remembrance weapon upgrade. Like, so right there, Mesmer's 3, Not to mention that you get the, you're getting the checkpoint for the hood, which is a little synergy right there. It just felt so incredibly important. And not to mention that you have, the column 3, and then, you have the row 1, which row 1 is actually relatively quick in the grand scheme of things. Felt very doable. That like row 1 is one that I looked at and I was like, oh man, I could do all these really easy. So that was definitely like my first thought was just like, Mesmer. And so once Mesmer went down, then for me, I was basically like, all right, I got to block. I got to block lines. And so it pretty much went into a block line game for me after that. And I had a couple bad deaths, like, that I'm going to have, but overall today, I'm much more happy with my decision making than
Good.
Yes.
Good.
When it came to the more late game-ish squares, Pooh, did you ever see or did you ever want to in some way activate that diagonal with painting rewards? Because painting rewards was open for quite a long time, and so we're kind of curious, from both players actually, why painting rewards was available for so long, and seeing maybe these synergies that painting rewards actually like led to, especially row 3, obviously with dragon bosses and Egon, because the painting rewards on that way. But just in general, like how much power actually the center square had on this board.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely, like, obviously, I was trying to set up painting awards. I pretty much sacked my blood 1 square for it. I think it was one of those things that after Mesmer, after getting Mesmer, losing the Mesmer square, I was like, all right, well, let's get a quick block, right? So I was like, let's do Curse Blade Assassins real fast. Get a quick block.
Play.
Yeah, get a quick block in there. And then I know he's got to go do Egon. I know he's got to do the dragon bosses in there. And so it kind of was one of those things where personally I probably should have like rushed more to Exalted Talisman and Midra just to get 2 synergy squares there and the block. But I don't know, like I don't know how you felt, CBD, but I didn't after I felt like Mesmer and Duper Remembrance was just a much bigger deal in this particular thing than the center square.
Yeah, because it just kind of connected the dots better. I mean, killing Mesmer, and so I mean, there's an ear limb on here, and if there's an ear limb and Mesmer, you kind of want Mesmer because you have to fight him anyways, and then Deep Remembrance into weapon upgrade, and then into killing a dragon boss into weapon upgrade, into other dragon bosses, right? So I mean, the lines kind of just connected themselves in that logic, I think.
Yeah. The other thing too is I knew he had already opened up like the point where I was gonna go get the painting. I knew he had already beat Ancient Dragon Man because he had the Rolling Giant Lightning Ram. So or he put Florisex to sleep. So once he put Florisex to sleep, I was kind of like, all right, I'm not getting the painting.
Sure.
So that was for me. That was just like, all right, we're out of that. And and he of course had acquired. He had set up the talisman significantly better than I did. I couldn't find I forgot where the gouge was for the longest time. Gash? How do you say that?
Gosh.
Gosh?
Technically, the French is main gauche, but nobody is going to say that.
Main gauche. I could not find the.
Gauche.
I forgot where the main gauche was for a little bit, which didn't help me.
It's French for left hand.
No, but French for left hand, really.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no, for me it was once I saw Florisex asleep, I kind of like abandoned the painting rewards. And at that point I had to make a choice where it was like I went and did the jail because I was like, maybe I should just try to stack squares. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't think I'm gonna beat him to 13. I don't think I'm gonna do the roast. But I had a thought where like, all right, maybe I should just try to stack squares. And then he killed Bale, and I was like, all right, well, we got to go to at least try if I want to get any more squares after this. So.
Sure. I was a little surprised. This is a bit of a play that's been done in previous matches, is doing parries actually on Mesmer. Since there is Killer Remembrance boss with 6 parries and Mesmer on the board, was that ever a consideration from any of you guys? I know it's difficult because there's only like 3 or 4 moves that you can actually parry on Mesmer, but it has been done. And I was just curious, I guess, like if you guys feel comfortable with that, and if so, would you have done it?
No.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Hey, so I actually did practice this, but I mean, as you can see, I get so greedy in these matches. Like I think about speed. So this is something like when I'm sitting on my couch on my Steam Deck, these bosses are nothing. But in these matches, I don't know what it is. My brain just gets so like, all right, you can get an extra hit here. I know you can, and I get so greedy. For me personally, I just thought it was such a important square that I wouldn't have wasted the time.
Okay.
in that particular situation. And I would have just done Rolana if it came down to that one, you know?
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Super fair.
I was surprised you didn't get perfumer bottles too, though. Honestly, CBD. I assume you had 3.
Yeah, I had 3 of them.
Yeah, you had 3. Yeah. Yeah, I
mean, it
think
was
no matter
either
what.
go for row 2 or row 3, and I went
Yeah.
for row 3.
Yeah. Once Mesmer happened, and then you made the really good call of going to whatchamacallit, sorry, going to the Shaman Village after that. I thought that was actually like once I saw that I was like, yeah, that was the right call. And then from there though, I was just blocking like it was like Curseblade Assassins. I knew I had to get Telu. I knew Chief Bloodfiend was over there by Telu. I could get that other nameless mausoleum right there. So, you know, I was stuck over in that area for a little while, and at that point I think you were just setting up everything for the kill shot.
Yeah. But it's still
Yeah.
a great match from both of you guys. Thanks so much for playing today, man. We're gonna be moving into Bushy versus
That was fun.
Blanks here. Hey,
Hey, Domo.
what?
Domo, thank you for setting this up. I hope the chat
Absolutely.
I hope the chat recognized 200% improvement from Friday already, right? Like we're already going.
That's
we keep
huge.
this up.
Yeah.
We kept saying during this match, Pooh, that like we're witnessing the Pooh training arc in real time.
Oh yeah.
Like
Right,
we're witnessing the glow up before our very eyes.
I want to give a shout out to CBD because he's probably provided me more information than anyone at all. I've been using his flashcards he made, and it's been incredibly helpful. So
Flashcards. We're studying.
Bro,
I
got
have
flashcards.
Anki flashcards, Ada,
Yeah.
that I shared with him.
Yeah.
Bro, what?
Yeah, it's actually been so hugely clutch. You have no idea. Like it's been tremendously beneficial. So
Kind of goated.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' matches next week.
Yes.
As this is the last day of this weekend for matches. But GG's again to both you guys, and GG's to CBD for the dub, man.
yeah, GG's man.
Yeah, thank you. GG's.
Have a great rest of your
GG's.
Sunday, guys.
Yeah, be safe, guys.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.